get started on our services webinar. So thanks for being here. We're also recording this, so we think a lot of people that may not attend at the moment might want to have the recorded services webinar, but we appreciate you attending. So today we're going to talk about polymer coatings and services, including research and development, manufacturing, custom equipment, analytical testing, and more. We do have a lot of really good content in here that we're going to be talking about today, and our content includes who is Hydromer, we're going to go into a small amount of what are hydrophilic coatings. We're going to go into depth about R&D processes, application techniques, testing processes, custom coating equipment, technology transfer, and then we'll get into our conclusions. Okay. So a little bit about Hydromer, if you don't already know much about us. Our founder, Manfred Dyke, was the one who formulated the world's first hydrophilic coatings for back in the 70s, which was about 40 years ago. We have a mission that empowers our customers' products to be ahead of their time and ahead of their competition. We offer customized polymer-based solutions, and we create or modify coating formulations to adhere to a multitude of substrates. We can offer, like we're talking about today, what we're going into, custom contract coating services, customized coating equipment, turnkey operations, and more. And then especially the feature that Hydromer is very proud of is we are an FDA GMP ISO 13485 and ISO 9001 production facility, and we'll go into that as well today. So a little bit about the presenters. My name is Nikki. I'm the marketing manager. I'll be going through the first third of the presentation today. And then we have Zilka, who's our global sales manager of our medical and industrial coatings, as well as some of our personal care products. And then lastly, who will be closing out the presentation will be our VP of sales and marketing, and that's Ravi. So we're going to talk a little bit just on the surface of what hydrophilic coatings are, because we do have a presentation that we did previously that you can find on our website under the webinars for why choose hydrophilic coatings. But I am going to go into a little bit just to give you guys an overview of it, but you can check that out on our website as well, and I can send you that link if you are interested. You can just email me from the emails that I sent out about the webinar, and I'll give that to you. So just a little intro. Some words to know. We're going to go into some vocabulary here, just words that we think that would be helpful throughout the process. So hydrophilic means water loving. Then lubricious means slippery when it's wet. So our coatings are tacky until you get them wet, and then they become very lubricious or slippery. Adhesion is what we say is sticking to a surface. So if it adheres to the substrate, the coating adheres to the substrate, that's a very good quality. Abrasion is the wearing or scratching of something away. Elongation is the lengthening of something, so how long something is. Friction is the resistance of one surface of another. So we'll get into that a little bit further, that friction is the resistance of a device through either it's through a body or a substrate that would need coating to stop that friction. Solvent is usually a chemical that's able to dissolve other substances. And then heptane is a cleaning solvent, so it's a cleaning substance that dissolves other substances. Particulates are microscopic particles of a solid or liquid matter. So if you think about particles in the air or something coming off of a surface, we'll get into that later of why that's important. Custom coatings are coatings that are made to order for a particular customer or device that hasn't been created previously. And then off-the-shelf coating is a coating that's already made by one customer that is easily transferred and used by another customer. We'll get into right now our FDA GMP ISO registration and certification so that you guys can better understand what that means for our company and how that affects you. So our FDA registration means that owners or operators of places of businesses like Hydromer that are involved in production and distribution of medical devices intended for only the United States, so it's the United States only, are genuinely required to register annually through the FDA. And we are registered annually, and we continue to register annually and get approved for those processes. GMP certification is a good manufacturing practice certification. So just like it says, it provides independent verification and certification that we, like Hydromer, are manufacturing with those good practices and prerequisites necessary for implementation of effective hazardous analysis critical control points. So we do coding, so we do have hazardous materials, and we do have things that people have to be well trained on, and we do have that certification for GMP. So next we have our ISO certification 13485-2016 is the utmost date, which specifies requirements for a quality management system where an organization needs to demonstrate its ability to provide medical devices and related services that consistently meet customers and applicable regulatory requirements. So that means that we are always doing exactly what we say we're doing. We provide the same quality every time, and that we also are providing the same regulatory processes to every customer. So we are certified in this certification. And then we have last our ISO certification 9001-2015, and that's an international standard that specifies requirements for quality management systems. Similar to what GMP is, but it's an ISO certification, a different certification, which actually gives us a better overview of us having all of these, where we provide the same products consistently. So it's the same products, ISO certification is the same quality, and we do meet those requirements. So about hydrophilic coatings, like I said, we're just going to go into a little bit of surface about these. Hydrophilic, which means water loving, you guys learned that earlier. Our coatings are made to utilizing polymeric materials that are polar, and they become lubricious or slippery when they're wetted out. So they also have anti-fog and condensation control properties, which means that when a surface gets wet, it will actually absorb and pull away all of the water so that you have a clear field of view. And then also with the medical, lubricious will heavily bring back friction so that you're not actually having friction on your device, so you can go further and further into the body with less friction. So what does polar mean? It means to attract, right? So we attract those materials, and we use hydroxyl, amino, and some phosphates, etc., are similar